Hello my marvellous sausages, and Solstice of Heroes is due to drop next week, running from July the 6th until August the 3rd. And we've had a huge info burp on how all of this is going to work, and they've previewed new ships, ghosts, sparrows, armour, and a new legendary shotgun called the Compass Rose. So come on, let's go and have a squiz. Well, first of all, don't get your hopes up too much in regard to the event itself, because it's pretty much the same as last year. So if you are hoping for a bit of change, then you're going to be a little bit cheesed. But anyway, Solstice of Heroes, as you may or may not know, revolves around a specifically made area called the EAZ, or the European Aerial Zone. I said that right then. It's quite a, a nice area, lots of floating rocks, nooks and crannies to explore, and to be honest, having a year's break from it, it'll make a nice change to jump back into something that feels a little bit fresh, well, at least for a few days anyway. Now, it's a match-made fire team of 3 activity, and we've got to defeat bosses within a certain amount of time. Then the number of bosses you defeat reveals the locations of chests scattered all around the map. You have about 10 seconds or so to take in all the locations of these chests, and then from memory you've got to go run and open them. Now the chests will reward you with Solstice key fragments and Solstice packages. Now the fragments are used to unlock the Solstice packages, and last year we needed 15 of them to unlock one Solstice package, so 15 fragments, 1 package. The packages themselves, they can contain armour, weapons, materials, Solstice gear, and one other very interesting thing. Re-rolls or random rolls of the Compass Rose shotgun. So that's pretty cool. We've got this legendary event weapon shotgun. Now there aren't many details, or in fact any details on it at all. It does look like, well, we don't know if it's a slug shotgun, we don't know if it's aggressive frame or anything, but it is certainly very pretty to look at. Now we'll probably have to claim it from Eva by completing a certain task, and then once you've done that, the random roll versions of it will start dropping from the Solstice packages. So that's lovely. Now going back to the guts of the event itself, we can utilise something called Elemental Empowerment. Now each day there's a featured element, so it can either be Void, Arc or Solar. No shout on whether or not Stasis is going to be in this as a event elemental doodah, but I don't think it's going to be honest with you, which is a bit of a shame. Any kills you make using either of the corresponding subclasses or weapon types, or Void, Arc or Solar, it generates elemental orbs. Now if you pick up enough of these orbs, from memory serves as about 21 of them or so, you become empowered, and then this empowerment grants effects unique to each subclass. So this is an extra level of fun that we can use to, alleviate the boredom. Actually, that was quite fun if I remember quite rightly. And also they've added in as well something called a Prism Day, where you can pick which elemental buff you use. So not sure how this is going to work, because what normally happened was you picked up enough of the elemental orbs and then it just triggered the elemental burn type thing. But now you can select when you use it, or at least which one you use. It's not very clear on how that is going to work, so we're just going to have to suck it and see there, I think. Right, now on to the big draw, which of course is the Solstice armor sets. Now as usual, they're going to be 3 sets for each class, and the first one you pick up is called Renewed, then you get Majestic, and then finally Magnificent. To upgrade each set, you have to complete a certain set of tasks that are attached to each individual piece. Just remember, wear the bloody stuff in order to advance the objectives, otherwise nothing will count. Now the objectives themselves, they vary from each piece, and the difficulty increases as you go from your Renewed, which is your first set, to your Majestic, which is the middle one, and then through to Magnificent. Now they revolve around getting a certain amount of kills in either EAZ, Strikes, Gambit, things like that. Last year, however, there was a bit of controversy and a lot of annoyance about the fact that in order to upgrade the Magnificent set, that's the final one, the big one, you had to complete some of Trials of Osiris matches. And as you know, it's like Marmite, that is really, people either hate it or they love it. So they were quite annoyed about that being one of the prerequisites. But it seems that this year they've taken that away, and it's going to be Nightfalls instead which are replacing it, so that's good, because they have leaked all of the armor set objectives, but they haven't linked what they're for. So once I find out exactly what's going on, I'm going to do a video about each armor set on the fastest way to upgrade it, so keep your eyes peeled for those babies next week. Now, another thing to remember about your old armor is that the Renewed and the Majestic sets, that's the first two, they have to be upgraded during the Solstice of Heroes event itself, as some of the objectives are linked to the event, basically anything to do with the EAZ. But once that goes, you won't be able to upgrade those anymore. However, once you've got the Magnificent set, you don't have to panic, because that can be completed after the event is over. So just get the first two done, and then you can do the Magnificent one at your leisure. Because if I remember rightly, last year we had some of them completing the Pit of Heresy as well, which we all know takes quite a bit of gumption, particularly if you're trying to do it on your own, which is bloody hard. Oh, and just a little reminder as well, ladies and gentlemen, I sound like an aircraft announcer there. In order to upgrade your armor, so say you complete all the individual pieces for your Renewed set, you need to then go and meditate in front of the statue in the tower next to Granny Eva, and that'll upgrade you to the next set. I quite like that, because you get a thing, and then you've got the next set of armor on, which is lovely. Now, another problem last year was the amount of time it took to upgrade the armor. There were shed loads of complaints that we wouldn't be able to finish it on time, it'll take 20 billion years to do it, or whatever. So Bungie have introduced something called armor accelerant buffs. Here you can see them from Eva. Now, these armor accelerant buffs will increase the progress made towards future Solstice armor objectives for the duration of event, allowing sets to be completed faster for subsequent characters. Yes, I am reading that word for word, and different classes as well. Currently active armor accelerants can be viewed in Eva's vendor screen, so that's going to be a great way to boost your progress. You don't feel you're slogging away too much. There are also bounties that you can buy from old Granny Eva, and they'll reward XP, Bright Dust, Key Fragments, and Glimmer. And she's also got an emblem and a ghost for us on completion of certain tasks. And the ghost looks like, well, it kind of looks like a Fabergé egg, doesn't it? That's could have just got out of a car crusher, or has got 5 different singularities pulling it in different ways. Sorry, I'm talking nonsense again. Now, talking of frivolities, let's go and have a little look through some of the stuff we've got coming this year. Well, let's take a look at the glows first of all. So we've got our arc glow there. It's very pretty, isn't it? Very filigree-y. Yes, I do quite like that. That's rather sexy. These are the solar glows. Yes, very nice indeed. That's nice too. These are actually universal ornaments bought from Eververse. So you can't earn these. When you finish the Magnificent set, you just get a plain white glow, and then you can buy these different glows from Eververse, although we don't know how much they're going to be. But if memory serves, people are very unhappy about the prices. But there we are. Aren't we always? Oh, hang on. That's the Arc one. Doesn't the Void one look like the Arc one? There's the Arc one. There's the Void one. Or is that the Void one? Or is it the Stasis one? Who knows? But anyway, let's have a quick look. I do like the Mohicans on top of those there. I don't know what he's got stuck on the top of his head there, but there we go. That's rather humorous too. I like the purple plattings as well, yes. So we've got our Titan there, and we've got our Hunter in the middle, and we've got our Warlock on the end. So yes, pretty good. Thumbs up from the looks of those, although whether or not I'm actually going to spend real cash on them, I doubt it very much. We'll just see. Nice shot of the Hunter there with the Compass Rose shotgun. It does look very nice, doesn't it? I do like it. Let's get a closer look. There she blows. Very nice indeed. Now, we don't know what this is going to be like. Is it like the Wishbringer? Perhaps it is a little bit, but we have no other information on it. But I'm sure we're all going to have a good spin of the wheel when we get that one. Here's the ship. Very nice indeed, I think. It does look very Solstice-y. I like the golden filigree, and I generally love the shape, almost reminiscent of a viper, wouldn't you say? I do like that. Yes, that's cool. A very slinky sparrow there. That's very pretty as well. I do like that. Look, I didn't know this one's got pedals on it. You know, so you can pedal it. It's a pedalo sparrow. That's great. That's something different. Keep our guardian in shape for defeating the darkness at the end of the universe. Oh, look, we've got some amusing ghosts here as well. So we know that that filigree ghost there comes from Eva Levante. So these must all be Eververse little numbers. I do like the clamshell. That's pretty cool. And the Muppet Show eyes. That's excellent. Inflatable shark. Perhaps it'll hold your can of beer too, and I particularly love the one lens of the glasses and the flowery hat as well. Yes, bloody marvellous. Got some nice wallpapers as well on the website if you want to take a look at them. That's very pretty. You can see the void there a bit more, and it's more purpley. Does it mean there is going to be a stasis glow? I don't know, it doesn't seem to say, but that's very attractive, isn't it? Because that's definitely different from the other one that we looked at. A lovely high-def 4K shot there of the EAZ with the floating platforms, and there's our three guardians standing on the roof. Very atmospheric and summery as well. I love it. Oh, here we go, and finally walking up to the place to sort of meditate in the tower. There's old Granny Eva as well, and we can launch the EAZ either from that thing in the corner or off the map too, which isn't too bad. One last thing I want to tell you about. There was a little secret tucked away in previous Solstice years. I found it in some footage from my 2018 video. My god, has it been that long? There's a cat hidden underneath it. Kind of like the cats that we had hidden around the Dreaming City. But we couldn't do anything with it. But apparently this year we are going to be able to do something with it. So we're going to give it a kind of an offering. Maybe it'll be one of those fragrant minty bowls as well. Who knows? But once we give the Moggy some kind of gift, they will give us one back, so that's quite interesting as well. So I'm really looking forward to this, actually, because, you know, it's something extra to chuck in. Plus, of course, we've got the end of the season kind of story that's going to be wrapping up, so whether or not that's going to interweave with Solstice of Heroes, who knows, because it's running for a whole month, right up until the epilogue. Something tells me nothing's going to happen until Solstice finishes, and then the following week the epilogue is going to kick in. But who knows, I could be completely wrong. Now, if you want to see more Solstice of Heroes videos, particularly about the armor upgrades, then don't forget to drop me a subscribe and click the ding 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 bell thing, and then you'll be able to see when I spew my gubbins onto the interwebs. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall speak to you all again very soon. Sausage out.